Hello dear viewer, welcome to my underground useless machine. It is a useless machine, but it is situated in a very useful settlement, one of the best places for resources in Fallout 4, Vault 88. It's notoriously bugged for AI behavior. Poor settlers keep forgetting parts of the town even exist. They tend to clump in one area for long hours, missing their shifts and refusing to eat and drink. But no matter, I always have wanted to build an underground mining town here. Get out with the boring vault build set. It's 2024, I don't want things to make sense. This one was a long, extensive building project. I have a veritable factory here, where I can produce ammo, armor, weapons, junk items and I think clothes? Even power armor bits, I think. I have the main town with the actual houses, furnished and detailed with the help of some cool mods. Almost every house doubles as a shop or some other useful business, thanks to a very tiny mod introducing specialized scavenging stations. My vault town actually produces a lot of appropriate resources for me, a lot of concrete and metals, so that I can build a lot more in other places. I am most excited about the giant useless machine that took like 10 hours of my life. I think, maybe more, considering all the corrections and rebuilds it needed to be able to do what I had wanted it to do, which is nothing. I will show you that miracle of Fallout 4 settlement building later at this here timestamp. For now, let's take a relaxing walk downtown.
It's just you, radiating through and through.
Well, look how freaking extensively, amazingly, unbelievably cute all of this is. Well, I like entering through here. I'm not going to show you the entrance to the vault because it's unaltered, but from here we start to see some changes. This is not a vault, this is a dwarven town with a ballista, greeting every unwanted visitor with a blast. There is this girl.
I'm just so hungry all the time.
That's not true. They complain because they don't produce food. But it doesn't matter, they import all the food from a lot of places. I have the houses here. They are the Covenant houses. And I can place them due to the Homemaker, good old classic mod for settlement building. I still use it quite frequently. There are some newer, perhaps more polished mods, but nothing is as extensive and comprehensive as Homemaker, as far as I know. The houses have 3 to 4 beds. They are not the most high effort in terms of decoration, but I still try to make them look somewhat cozy. You see, a little bit of decoration. On the bureau here, some carpets, beds, paintings, all the like. They even have sugar bombs. You don't like what? That there is no more settlements for us to help? I know, it's horrible. We'll figure it out sooner or later, Preston. Another quite a similar one, but with a scavenging station that looks like you can clean dishes at it, and washer, refrigerator. There are some minor differences. As you can see, these guys like to play checkers? Is that what the English word for this game is? I can't remember. Checkers, right? Now on the left-hand side as you enter, there are some businesses, more useful than just plain houses. Clothier, yes, she has a shop here with some modern painting. Ugh, it was her choice, not mine. But yes, and some mannequins and more clothes here that they do fall off from time to time, but I don't care. I keep putting them back because I like entering this and knowing already where I am. And for some reason, there is a mayor of Good Neighbor here. I don't recall hanging him there. And this is, I believe, my general store where I sometimes buy junk items in. Yes, and there is this here lady who pretends to look at some technical stuff and some junk items and maybe catalog them for that lady, but she's actually a scavenger. Yes, in my general store, of course, tier 3. If I really wanted to make this settlement producing more cups, I should probably think about the placement and quantity of my shops, but I didn't. I just wanted to have an atmosphere of a working town. The main gameplay purpose of this town is to provide me with, as I said, a lot of concrete and steel for other buildings.
Nobody has enough to eat. Can't you do something to help?
You are lying. That's not true. You are importing a lot. Now we are going by my own house, but that comes later. First, the pub. The very little pub. Actually, most of the leisure area is outside because, we already have our roof anyway. But inside there is two tables, actually. And a guy, Walton, who sells stuff and has a refrigerator with nothing in it. Trophies hanging. Even a medkit. Some paintings and a jukebox. I kind of like this place. It's nothing to write home about maybe, but it's kind of cozy. I often go for cozy over spectacular because it's much easier to build in this game. Like this house is it's all one mesh. It's all one object, the entire house. And it is actually our clinic where one of the NPCs from the DLC, the Vault DLC, lives, so I gave him a Vault suit, but he is actually a doctor. Yes, as you can see, some working stations, also scavenging stations, actually, a source of fresh water and the like. He even analyzes some synths, apparently, for me. So it's not just a clinic, it's also a small little science center. And there is a bakery, sorts, a coffee shop run by Aubrey in a Vault suit too, just opposite to the liquor store and or pub. Oh yeah, and I have a hairdresser. I completely forgot I have a little tiny cute hairdresser. It's actually just added to the house. I built a little barn hugging the house from one side. So it's a little extra building project on top of decorating houses, and I also added a little extra room because there was no space for another house, basically. But he has a nice floor. That is from the Singing Settler mod, I believe. And there's our gym, very cramped because I want as many settlers as possible to be able to pump iron and generally take good care of themselves. I've made a sort of a chapel here. They don't come here as frequently as they should, but there is a preacher. Yes, there is a preacher. It can also pass as a sort of conference room, I guess, as a sort of place where we gather to discuss stuff as a whole community. Yeah. There's nothing specific to a church in here, but I sort of, well, there are these candles. I guess this is why I think it's a chapel, because it has candles. Yes. And this is my house. It's a little bit rough around the edges. When I built it, I wasn't entirely familiar with the Homemaker build sets, and so a lot of it looks weird. But it was a first attempt, and I decided to leave it as is because maybe it portrays the learning curve, of my character, not just me player, but my character. He decided to build himself a proper house in underground and was a little bit underprepared for making a two-story house. On the inside there is a power station workbench. There is some containers for me, my spare power armors. Finally, that's the only place, I think, in my entire empire that actually has some spare power armors that I usually don't use, but keep mostly for myself. The rest of my power armors are being handed to provisioners and followers and such. My bobblehead collection, as you can see, there is still quite a few to find, and I'm level 131. I don't think I will be getting all of them on this character. But a proper Napoleon Bonaparte painting in the background. And as we progress towards the factory in the other segment of the caves down there, we can see some more like poverty-struck households, something more scrappy and haphazardly built. And that is, of course, well, that's not exactly right. Bethany is well dressed, but this is these are the houses where the workers live, and they work most of the time anyway, so they just come here to sleep, maybe wash themselves from time to time and go back to work. And if they want to relax, they go to the pub, so they don't really care that much about how their houses look. Oh yeah, there's some ambience. I forgot about that. I decorated this bit here, right at the entry or to the factory. There are some... It looks like somebody is working here. Just left, but somebody is working here, generally speaking. And there is this little light there, which kind of should work, but doesn't. A lot of things is a little bit bugged in such a huge settlement. Yes, my wonderful factory. I even put some lights on the conveyor belts so that it looks, so that I know where it's all on. Because there is, of course, a switch to put it off if I don't want to hear all the background noise. But yes, yes, look at this. Nice. Chemistry station and a cooking station just in case I need it for stuff. And I usually manage all of it from here. Mostly I use the ammunition plant, ballistic ammunition plant, and there should be a power armor plant somewhere. Oh yeah, there is a T-51 power armor forge, for example, here. I kind of supplemented some of my partial power armors with this wonderful thing. Oh my god! Over 9,000 copper. Sorry, steel. Just 1,400 or so copper, so that's like nothing. Let's place it here in the ballistic ammunition plant. Do you remember that you should be making harpoons, or do I need to turn it on again? No, you do remember. Right, and now my harpoons are being sent here and here behind my weapons workbench, and they go here. The lift would then spit it out here on this here belt, and I don't understand why this lift is not powered. It almost certainly is powered. Don't quite get it. Apparently 160 power is not enough for this town. What have I done? Anyway, once it goes to this here lift, it goes to this here hopper and it drops the item in question. Like so. Now, with a lot of resources and patience, since a lot of these conveyor belts are attached to one of these two lifts, as you can see, all these builders and crafters connect to that one. There is another one connected via this line, and this line is connected to two others, so most of my production can all be truncated, can all be sent to this hopper here, and if I have a lot of resources and patience, I can just program all the production for many other builders and just drop all the items I want here. Now, I've never done anything more than some ammo and maybe armor bits, so it was never actually necessary, and it will never be. If you are at the point of the game when you can build something like this easily and power it all up, you probably also already have more than enough armor pieces and ammo and everything, and cups if to buy stuff if you have to. So this is pretty much pointless, but this is not the actual pointless machine. Oh, the building of this path, also the tiles are also from Homemaker. That was really annoying, and it never aligns itself properly, and it was very hard to make the turns, and it was oh my goodness, that was annoying. But it is done. You see, there is a path. There is a path going anywhere I want. Oh, but I completely forgot. I also have some slightly less useless machine on the way to the most useless machine. Yeah, does it work? No, I need to turn it on, I think. Yeah, because there is a... Yes, there is a mechanism making sure that NPCs won't trigger it. It only triggers via pressure plate when this is also triggered, I think. Oh, you see? Yeah, this is a very slow gun, so it won't work. But if I have something maybe like this, I can always... Okay, now I can turn this off.
I've worn out a lot of shoes since I joined the enemy.
I can open this and see how I did. Not too bad, not too bad at all. Now, sadly, these don't leave a mark on my targets, so I kind of don't know how I did with the rifle. I can sort of assess it sometimes with the burn marks, but not with the holes, so that's a pity. But for this and the thrown items, the thrown weapons that I also have, it's a really neat practice, you know? Hiya! Should we try it again? I have to turn this here off now. Should we try it again with the thrown weapon? Ooh! Way too slow. Haha! Yes, now I got it. This is quite amusing, and I made it myself. I'm so proud. So the way it works, when somebody stands there, this here pitching machine spits rubber bits at this here target, and this gives some short pulses of power to those doors there, and they all open. I think there is also some ways to make logic gates, so maybe if I get a little bit smarter, which is unlikely in my age, but if I get a little bit smarter one day, I can also figure out a way to make them open, for example, in consecution, not all at once, because it's almost impossible to get more than one target. When you are very fast, sometimes you can get two, but of course the ideal situation would be to get all three. The main flaw of the system is that I have to pick up all the rubber manually and put it back in the pitcher machine. So that can be a little bit silly. Speaking of a little bit silly, we are getting to my proudest Fallout 4 building achievement. This here section of the caves is entirely filled with the useless machine. All of this conveyor belt, all of this that I built to make sure no items are lost and put on the ground, all of this, even some slight decoration, you see, the forge, a Mr. Handy box, a bed even, I sometimes apparently sleep here. Even all that was done for no reason whatsoever. Now, let's find a good looking component item, like a nuclear material, yes. So the way it works, you put a component you want to extract from your workshop, right here. One item is enough, and it will slowly extract all of them one by one, in this case, from the workshop. If it's turned on, I don't recall if it is, we'll see. I need to go to my reactor room and add more reactors. I can't believe it, how did I use so much? Oh, yeah, I use a lot of energy because I keep building useless items requiring a lot of energy. Well, I'm going to have it as a guess that the purpose of this floor was meant to be this giant Voltec reactor. Now I have a lot of energy. And yes, and now the machine, it's working, it's alive. I picked nuclear material because it sort of glows in the dark. It's nice for the observation of the useless machine. As you can see, they are being sent to this here lift. This lift sends it to another taller conveyor belt, to another lift, to another belt, to another lift. All the way up here. Right? It's still the same framework of a lot of conveyor belts. It all goes through here to another conveyor belt, which then needs to send the items a little bit downwards to this here turn. Yeah. Now here I would need a lot more place to make a proper turn and take it a little bit lower. So I just did this. There's a wall here preventing item loss on both sides, actually. One of the walls looks like a counter, and it probably is a counter, part of A. And all the nuclear material is being sent here. And then down, the long way down, all the way over there. Some of this steep conveyor belt doesn't even need power, it just works on gravity. Right? Goes down and down and down. Here through this wonderful little shabby tower with green lights. Oh yeah, yeah. It looks even nicer through the glass. All the glow. And then it's being sent back to the workshop storage. Yes, yes. Apparently we still lose some items to the inefficiency, but not too many. This here device puts nuclear material out of the workshop. It sends it all the way up there. It spits and swings and flips and flops and goes all the way up there and then go back down. And then it goes back down through this and back to the storage, to the workshop. That is what I sacrificed tens of hours of my life, because it really was hard to figure out how do I build it so I don't lose a lot of items for decoration, basically. How to make all the turns without losing items. How to... Oh, I love this here observation point, though. Should have led with that. Look, look! It was worth it. Look how pretty it looks. Yeah, not gonna lie. It looks like a waste of time. But it's working! It's working! Alright, so this is an excellent place of hard work, commerce and mining. It's beautiful, it's atmospheric, it has a lot of industry and very, very useful things. I am like really stoked and excited to be here. Each time I return here it feels like home and it is actually useful in the gameplay. So yes, I must say, if it's not my proudest achievement, it's certainly one of the funniest. I like the NPCs here, I keep some unique NPCs here to have a little bit of an extra incentive to keep coming back. I really, really like this place. But I guess this is it for now. Be nice to your parents and come back at one point and see more. I will be uploading, I can't really promise any frequency or regularity, but I will try uploading a bit more Fallout 4 videos in the foreseeable future. I played a lot of Project Zomboid lately, so I was a little bit far away from proper RPGs, but it should change at least a little bit. I definitely would like to show you a few more of my settlements. For now, this is all. We shall see each other again, and bye-bye. Oh, subscribe, like, share, comment, do YouTube things, please, quickly. There's no time.